Hello, I'm Jerry Fort. I'm gonna go through some some things. I do this occasionally, even in the middle of my years of doing my reviews. I would give people, I'd let people know about other things about my channel that a person could check out. So now coming down to my partial retirement. I wrote down some things you've already heard, some things you've already watched, but some of you new folks may have not seen this stuff before. So in between waiting for the end of the month for me to upload some videos, there's some stuff that if you still want to hang around Jerry's, the Beer Review Guys channel, there's some stuff that you can watch to kind of maybe entertain. You might find interesting. So I wrote down some things. There's a lot of other things I can't remember, you may discover on your own while just looking through my video library of thousands of videos that I've done over the years. So first thing is, some years ago I was doing a lot of story times with Jerry. I think that's what I called them. Some of you know about those, like I've mentioned earlier. Some of you don't. There is playlists on people's channels that some people don't discover or look for or notice or even click into to see what's there. I haven't used my playlists in a long time, like added to them. But I was adding all my story times in that category. Story times with Jerry. I told stories about, when I worked for apartment complexes, when I worked for restoration companies, time I got fired for something stupid, just when I got pulled over and put in a holding cell in Broken Arrow police department here in Oklahoma. Just all kinds of stories. Stories of living in South Carolina, probably Colorado too, when I was cruising with my good friend Richard Brim in Fort Collins, Colorado. Just all kinds of stories like that. So yeah, story times with Jerry. I've got 39 videos, so that could keep you a little busy. I don't know how long each one of my videos were. Probably close to 30 minutes, I would assume, but don't remember for sure. So there's the story times with Jerry you could watch. Let's see. Now, down through the years, people had said, complimented my voice, said I have a nice, soothing voice. That's what they said. Some people would compare me to Mr. Rogers. Some people would compare me to Bob Ross, which is very flattering. Both those gentlemen were really great guys. I grew up watching Mr. Rogers. I didn't discover Bob Ross until later on. His artistry skills are very, very impressive. But yeah, I was compared to those great men. In I guess my way of being, my voice, I guess, was comparable to them. But ASMR was mentioned. I didn't know anything about ASMR, 5 years ago, maybe even more than that. Until I started looking into it, because people said I kept saying I should do ASMR, and I'm like, what is this? ASMR, what is it about? And I was watching it. It looked ridiculous to me, but I understand some of the ways, the things that they were doing. For some people, that could be a soothing thing, whispering, whisper, listen to me, understand what I'm saying. I mean, and people was reading with the whispering or doing reviews, whispering or something like that. And there's different different noises they would make, you know, that would be something soothing or exciting for your ears to pick up. The sounds would be enticing or I almost said erotic, but I don't know about all that, you know. So I think I did one time some Velcro or something. I don't know if I think it might have been on some of my gloves or something. I can't remember. Maybe my wristband. I can't remember, but the thing that I started thinking about was I didn't know if it was a thing or not, but when in my younger years I would sing. I was the singer of my family. My older brother played guitar at our family get-togethers or family parties, and I would sing. So I grew up, I would say I had a decent voice. It's changed now, changed over the years. I can't hit my tenor notes anymore because my voice got deeper. So unfortunately I can't do that anymore, but I could still put a little melody in there. But some of the singers that I grew up singing was like Don McLean, Jim Croce, Cat Stevens, let's see, Dan England, John Ford Coley. Just singers like that had nice mellow voices. Bread, David Gates, just all those kind of singers. So I thought, hey, what about if I sing some low tone songs using a low tone vocals, and maybe that would be soothing. My voice, they say, is soothing. So if I do low tone singing, maybe that would be something. It didn't really get a whole lot of attention, but it was fun to do. I was okay about singing in front of my family, but for over 12,000 strangers on YouTube was a little bit different. I went to a karaoke. I went to a karaoke party with a guy I used to work with when I worked for property management. He invited me over. We drank some beers, and I got a good buzz. So I got some liquid courage there, and I finally got up in front of everybody. There was about 20 people there, and sang some songs. I sang a Dreamweaver. Back then, I was still pretty good at singing. The maintenance man was the one that invited me over to his house for the karaoke party, and he says, "Okay, Jerry, it's your turn. Get up there and pick a song." And they had a lot of songs to pick from, so I was looking through them all, and I saw Dreamweaver by Gary Wright, and I said, "Hey, I think I can. This is one I think I can sing pretty good." So here I am, feeling pretty good. I'm pretty relaxed, and I hear Mike Mike say, "I wonder if you can sing." And I start singing Dreamweaver, and he goes, "Oh, God, he can sing." So they were impressed. Probably, I think they were like more wanting to have fun with it, not be serious. Just don't sing it seriously, just be silly. And when it comes to music, it's something that I've always taken pretty seriously. So I just do the best singing that I can, so I might have been probably the downer of the party or something. I don't know, but anyway, so I've done some songs. Too late. Make a long story short. My dad used to say, I've done a few songs. Just look in if you're interested and you want to see them. Put in my channel ASMR or something, and it should show all of them. I think I did like 3 or 4 maybe. So there's those you could watch and um, judge my voice as you see fit to. So there's that. I'll mark off what I'm doing here. So I mentioned the story times, mentioned me singing. So I like to draw. I grew up drawing, but mostly I grew up with friends and family that could draw really good. So, but I've always been into drawing myself. I'm not like real good, so it's difficult for me to draw like real good. It takes a lot of time, a lot of erasing. But I grew up listening to a lot of harder old classic rock. So Dio was one of the bands that I listened to in my younger days. So a lot of their album covers has this creature, like Holy Diver. The album cover on there's got this creature coming up out of the water, and he's got these wicked demon eyes, you know. He's got these horns, and he's got a chain. Does this sound familiar to you guys? And he's throwing it out into the water, and he's I guess he's got like a preacher or something with the chain wrapped around him, and he's like trying to, the water's all torrent, you know, it's all just chaotic and everything. And I don't know what he's doing with the preacher, but I didn't know. But so water's kind of hard for me to draw, so I drew it in a different way. I drew it as if I didn't draw, you know, the preacher. I just drew that he had a chain and he was getting ready to whip it or something. So he was kind of more in a desert scene, like coming up out of the sand. And yeah, my son edited it for me and fast forwarded the drawing. It was pretty cool and put some hard rock music to it. But I had fun doing that. And Jeremy and I didn't edit a whole lot of things, you know, through the years. Our editing bundles that we would get were like real good, and Jeremy had a lot of trouble editing. So it took him a long time, and he got frustrated and just didn't want to do it anymore. So, but we did accomplish some, and that was one of them. So you might find that interesting. So you can check that out. Drawing, just put in drawing Dio creature or something like that, and you should find that. If you can't find any of this stuff, I may be able to find it and put the link down for you if you're interested. So there's that, me drawing. I only did that one. I want to do some more of those. Maybe those can be some, if I get them done, I can put those at the end of the month as well. Maybe even get Jeremy to edit for me just a little bit if he can figure it out. Also, one of the things that we edited some years ago, I had a lot of brush that I was dealing with, and I had piles of it, like a couple piles, and I was throwing it onto the actual burn pile as I was burning. And I recorded myself taking, you know, big things of brush, had a piece of carpet too, and I don't know, some kind of a shelf. I was throwing it all on the fire and burning all this stuff, and then I would take a minute, and then I would walk back toward the camera and say something stupid like, "Are you still watching?" And Jeremy would slow that part down, and then he'd speed it back up for me to finish off all the burning. I think he put music to that as well, but I can't remember for sure about that. So there's that, the burning video, burning brush, I think it's called. Since then, Jeremy got me a tripod that's real tall. I had to put my phone on the ground and kind of prop it up for that. This way, I can get the video up higher and do that. So, so yeah, the burning brush video. Let's see. So I always mention Wayne, my brother, that did all the reviews with me. We did a lot. There's a lot of Wayne and me videos. So you can go, there's a Wayne playlist in my playlist area. So we crack up, and be a little silly sometimes and stuff. And my brother, he thought I was funny, so he'd laughing at me. But so you might enjoy those videos with my Wayne and I. People say that we look alike. They've said that for many, many years, that we look. Some people have asked, "Are you guys twins?" So we always got that question. But the girls, they would all say I was cuter than he is, or something, or something when he was younger. But he'd always get irritated and flick my ear or something, or try to give me a snuggie or something like that. But so yeah, the Wayne playlist. If you guys want to watch those, there's probably close to 40 of those as well, maybe even more than that. So you can check out those. So in the beginning of my hobby of doing reviews back in 2016, I started running across a lot of like bad beers, and I ended up, making faces at them. They tasted bad. I guess I was saying some crazy, silly descriptions of what I was getting. I had this Gorilla mask back in 2016. This is when I lived at my other house. I had this Gorilla mask, and I was thinking about making a mascot, calling him Jungle Jerry, and I made this silly video pretending to be not me but Jungle Jerry, and I made it seem like I had went to the restroom, and while I was gone, he sat down, me in the mask, and said, this is my review. I had signs. I wasn't saying anything. I had a sign that said, "Hi, I'm Jungle Jerry, and this is my review." I'd throw the card, say, and I said Jerry's in. The sign said Jerry's in the restroom, or something like that. So I had a nasty banana, and I had this one beer that I think I bought like 6 of, and they were nasty and maple flavored or something, and it was nasty. I think it's like Woodchuck Brewing Company or something. And I knew I didn't like it. I was like, what am I going to do with this beer? I need to use it for something. You know what I mean? I hate to dump it out. Oh, okay. A maple beer with a banana. Hey, Jungle Jerry could do a review with this rotten banana. Gorilla banana, right? Okay, so I poured that beer in there, and Jungle Jerry was peeling the banana. He just kind of let it plop into the beer, and he goes to drink it, and then he's acting like, oh, here comes Jerry, I gotta get out of here, so it was just a silly skit. So I kept that. I cut off a lot because some of it got too stupid. I went and took the mask off, and then I would sat back down, and I was like, what's been going on here? Why is there a banana in this beer? It got too stupid, so I cut off a lot of that. I had Jeremy just cut off a lot of that, but the main part I kept. So there's that. But that part is in the funny moments montage. So put in funny moments montage, and you'll see a bunch of little clips of me trying different beers. There's a lot of the camo. I don't know if you guys remember the camo beers. I reviewed like every one that I could find. All of them were just too much. Really high alcohol, really, really strong apple-y kind of malt liquors, and I just didn't like them. So my descriptions were pretty harsh, and I guess funny, but the music that Jeremy and I found on there to put to the montage makes it even more ridiculous. So look up the Funny Moments montage and see what you think about all that. You might enjoy that. I also have my clip on there when I did the Axe Head malt liquor. It's a malt liquor that I heard about, that I actually bought it, and because I thought it sounded cool, and I was really into malt liquors, but I was discovering so many bad ones, and so I looked up reviews of this malt liquor before I tried it, and found out that it's horrible, that it's just horrible. So I was like, well, this doesn't sound like it's going to be very good, so maybe I'll make it funny, you know. So, but some of it was kind of serious. But this is at my other house too. I was, hey, this is turning into a story time with Jerry right now. I'm gonna have to add this into my story time section. But yeah, I was doing the review. I'm kind of explaining this because if you see that clip, you may not understand what's going on. But I was in my backyard doing the review. I had like a board set up on some sawhorses or something, doing this review, and when I was drinking the Axe Head malt liquor, it was horrible. But I was like, how about let's be a little dramatic here. So I spit it out. I mean, I sprayed it out, you know, and then I discovered my neighbors were across the street working on a lawnmower. I didn't even know they were there, and I was doing that, and I was like, now I'm a little bit, this is kind of awkward now. So I was kind of being quiet, but that's, I think that actual video, if you put in Axe Head malt liquor, you might see the whole video of that. I don't think there's much more to it than what I did on that clip, but you can check that out. But that's also, like I said, on the Funny Moments montage, and you might get a kick out of that. So the last thing is something I always talk about, and I think some people might find it entertaining, is my other channel. The one that didn't take off very well, but yet I put a decent amount of stuff on there, content-wise. Jungle Jerry's Treehouse. Check out that. It's one that it was designed to do videos for kids, because a lot of my subscribers would talk about that their kids even watch my reviews. My buddy Martin, his little girl, they play my videos in the car when they're driving around. So, or when he's taking her to school or something. So, and then some people had said that their kids sit in front of the TV and watch my reviews like it's some kind of Saturday morning cartoon or something, you know. So I was like, these kids are watching my beer reviews too. Probably just my snack reviews or something. But anyway, I thought, well, maybe I could do another channel that they might, and let them know about it, and the kids could listen to me do stories, read stories. You know, kids they're used to, like to hear stories, books, hear books read, you know, listen to that, see the pictures. So I tried that. Started off with some Dr. Seuss stuff, and I think there was another one too, I can't remember what it's called, children's books. And then I got into the Magic Treehouse books, which my son Jeremy was into when he was a kid. He had a big set of those, 1 through 40 or something like that. So I was reading all those stories. I couldn't read a whole book. I had to stop, you know, chapters, you know, come back to it. So it took a lot of time. There's one video floating out there of when I was reading the Magic Treehouse books, and I skipped that morning my coffee. So here I am reading. I'm reading Magic Treehouse story, and I kid you not, I am like struggling. And it came out of the bushes, and I was out I passed out for about maybe 20 seconds, and I woke up disorientated, like, whoa, what just happened here, you know? I mean, I was like, I instantly I was washed out, like I just took a power nap, and I've never done anything like that before. Well, if I was reading at home in bed or something, before I go to sleep, I've done it then. But this is while, you know, hello, I'm making a video here. I'm reading on video, and I'm passing out. It's crazy. But I couldn't get rid of that. It was just too funny. And that, I can't remember if I kept that on that channel, if I put it over on this channel somewhere. I don't know. You might try putting in me passing out while reading. It might be out there. If you're interested in seeing that, I'll try to find it, put a link. But that's just if you're interested. Otherwise, I'm not going to put too much time into trying to find it. But, so yeah. Also, I did, I'm trying to think of a topic that some people might find interesting. So I read a book that was about cryptids. You guys know what cryptids are? It's, you know, Mothman, Chupacabra, what else? Any creature type character, like banshees, that people have thought they seen or heard but can't prove, is called a cryptid. Every state has a legend or a myth that exists within that state, and somebody wrote a book on it. So I read the whole book on that channel about each state. So you could look up your state, look for your. I don't know if I broke it down or not. I think I might have. Go to Uncle Jerry's Treehouse and see. But it was fun reading those. Interesting to me what people say they saw, and the stories were some of them were kind of creepy a little bit. But that's maybe that'd be something, you know, somebody might find interesting reading on Halloween or something. I don't know. But so there's that. There's Jungle Jerry's Treehouse. And I also did some silly stuff. I grew up imitating old men. Hello, I'm Jerry Ford, the beer review guy. You know, an old man's voice. Had that going on. And Zoinks! I grew up imitating, you know, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. You know, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? I grew up imitating them. I was better in my younger days with doing it. I used to be able to imitate, what's that little Sesame Street character? Had a real high-pitched voice. Crap. Can't remember. If I wasn't thinking about it, I would remember. 28 minutes. But, yeah, so there's that. There's those. I can't think of any more right now. If I do, I'll make another list and put those on the end of the month for you guys to check out if I do think of stuff. But yeah, there's stuff to watch on this channel that many people may not have seen. So take advantage of the time in the middle of the month, beginning of the month. Fill your time with that. If you can't find anything else to watch on YouTube, and you enjoy my channel so much, which I appreciate, check out those videos that I just mentioned. Write them down. Watch this video again. Write them down. That's what I would do, because I ain't going to remember all that Jerry just said here. So write them down and search them and check them out and comment. I will still answer videos. I ain't going to wait till the end of the month to answer comments, because that doesn't take that long to answer a comment, you know. So do comment. There you go. All right. Well, I'm going to end it here. We're almost at 30 minutes, and I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate that. And We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Come on, 30 minutes. Come on. There it is. Bye.